Yo, New York Yankees fans, yet again, it is Felix from NyynewsTV.com, like always, Hola, cómo estás. Yo, New York Yankees fans, yet again, it is Felix from NyynewsTV.com, like always, Hola, cómo estás.
From New York City, you are now tuned into NyynewsTV.com radio with your host, NYY News Felix, for the latest New York Yankees news and rumors.
Let's go. You are now tuned into Hola, cómo estás with your host, NYY News Felix for NYY News TV. Now coming at you every 2 weeks. So, to begin the show, let's go back a couple of days to that Tim Anderson and Josh Donaldson situation. You know, the situation where Josh Donaldson was just busting the guy's balls. The whole reason the Yankees got Josh Donaldson in the first place, to spark the clubhouse. So now let's talk about teamwork. Let's talk about being a team. You see, take NYY News TV as an example. Let's say one of our guys gets into something where somebody flips the script and makes it seem totally different from that person's intentions. And then somebody from NYY News TV sides with the troll and says, you know, my guy shouldn't have said that. He was wrong. This is what Aaron Boone and Aaron Judge did when it came to Josh Donaldson. Let's continue. Let's say that happened to Pete, to me, Gary, somebody like Arby, Joe, etc. Wouldn't they feel, or wouldn't I feel like, wow, I just got thrown under the bus? These guys are frauds. So if you're Josh Donaldson, as of now, receiving a fine in a 1-game suspension, which was a joke, what do? What do you say? Oh yeah, you'll be saying the same thing. I thought these guys were my teammates. I explained myself. Why is Aaron Judge 1 day after or 2 days after not taking my side after I explained myself? Me, as your teammate, you're supposed to believe me. I said, speaking like Josh Donaldson, that my intentions were not to be racist. You see, that's a bad sign of so-called leadership. I don't care if you don't like the guy, but he's on your team. Tim Anderson does not play for the New York Yankees. Tim Anderson has a history of being a troublemaker. You do not throw your guy under the bus because, let's say, advertisers are not going to want to advertise with you anymore. Because we all know the system. A select elite few control the money supply or whatever. You don't say what they want you to say. Suddenly, the city's coming after you. Oh, you have an irregulation here. We're going to fine you. I'm pretty sure that's what the Yankees are scared about. What I'm trying to say here is, what's the point of being a boss? What's the point of owning an organization? What's the point of owning a company if you can't be your own boss, if you can't tell your employees to say what's really on their mind? So again, is Hal Steinbrenner really a boss? I think not. Because his employees, like Aaron Boone, Aaron Judge, they threw Josh Donaldson under the bus because obviously they're in fear of the repercussions. And we're not talking about the masses. There's always a select few people that control the narrative when we're talking about mainstream things. And the Yankees fall under that category. This is why you have Netflix going out of business. This is why you have all these corporations losing money. The majority of people don't agree with that crap. You see, like Aaron Boone, his comments throwing Josh Donaldson under the bus. Josh Donaldson's manager, he plays or is managed by Aaron Boone, who was the captain of the ship. When people hear Aaron Boone throwing Josh Donaldson under the bus, the majority of people listening are like, what is this guy doing? Why is he saying that? I don't agree with Aaron Boone. And it angers people. It angers some people to the point where they're like, I'm not going to watch Major League Baseball anymore. I'm going to cancel my MLB subscription because these people feel like you think they're dumb. When in fact, you're just reading off a script like every other person that we see on TV that, in my opinion, that are controlled. Because if you go outside mainstream media, you'll find a whole bunch of independent platforms doing their own thing, and they say whatever. And it's not in the way where, oh my God, they're saying racist things. No, it's people using common sense. And this is why other personalities online are growing at a pace where they're sinking networks like the Yes Network. And this could be said in all genres of entertainment. Because it's like the gatekeepers are trying to keep their product alive, but at the same time, the only people that are agreeing with them are basically, don't get offended if you fall under this category. I pray to God that you'll find your senses. The only people sticking with their word are the dumbest of the bunch. And we're talking about baseball, tradition. If you want to talk American, that's what baseball is all about. So I don't understand the business model. And I don't understand that the people running Major League Baseball, they do not understand this. Baseball is American as apple pie, as they say. So the people that buy your product, the people that work and spend money, you're shying them away from baseball. When you come out and try to imply that Josh Donaldson is a racist. When everybody with a brain knows that he's not. What they're doing here is they are segregating, trash talking within white and black players. Which again, Josh Donaldson sees Tim Anderson as a fellow baseball player. He does not see color. What these people that are implying that Josh Donaldson is a racist, what they're really doing is they're segregating the game. That's the stupid thing about America. You go to any country, for an example, if you're Dominican, you're Dominican. You could be black, you could be white, you could be in the middle. There's no, oh, that guy's black. No, there's nothing like that. That person is Dominican. When you come to America, suddenly everybody's black, white, Asian, etc. They're not American. Suddenly they are a color. I've never understood that about America. It's not about color. It's about culture. Race has nothing to do with how you proceed life. And Josh Donaldson and Tim Anderson have a heck of a lot in common. They're baseball players. This is what the ignorant people don't understand. They identify with being a baseball player. Josh Donaldson identifies Tim Anderson as being a baseball player that's making millions of dollars. By the way, I hope Josh Donaldson sues the pants out of everybody that literally labeled him as a racist. These high-profile Twitter users. You could get sued for that. Every attorney looking at this crap would be like, yeah, this guy has a major case. We're talking about our brotherhood here. You're a professional athlete. Black, white, they're looking at their ding-alongs. Taking showers. I mean, come on, give me a break. When you're a baseball player, you're a baseball player. No matter what color your skin is. Stop with this race baiting bullshit. Everyone's tired of it. If you're a boss, be a boss. If you cannot say what's really on your mind, then you're not a boss. These companies, these large corporations, you're the CEO? You're a boss? Okay, how come you can't say what's really on your mind? And how come the only thing that you can say is the narrative, a script that's being put out? What is the agenda behind all of that? Then I see fans of other teams, specifically White Sox fans. Thank God for Aaron Judge. He threw Josh Donaldson under the bus. I mean, I thank God Aaron Judge is having the season he's having. But if you ask me, that was a bitch-ass move.
If you're listening to us on YouTube and you're not subscribed already, then make sure to hit that subscribe button.
A real bitch-ass move. You're supposed to be there for your teammates. Through thick and thin. I would agree with Aaron Judge if Josh Donaldson was actually racist. I'll be like, boot this motherfucker out of New York City. Get Josh Donaldson out of here. But when it's the same script of race baiting, the same old nonsense, I am tired of it. Other people are tired of it. Get the hell out of here with that garbage. And this is why NyynewsTV is around. This is why other platforms are around. If you don't want to listen to all of those other guys following a script, because that's what it is, you have NyynewsTV, but it comes with consequences. None of us are ever going to get invited to these special events, I guarantee that. And if that really happens, you should go, wow, Major League Baseball is pulling the Netflix. Major League Baseball is going to change their tone, because that's what Netflix did. They fired all these bozos. They're going back to their roots. Free speech. Hopefully, other companies, social media platforms follow suit. I don't know what they're so terrified of. That's why laws were created. That's why laws are in place. If you break the law, you suffer the consequences. Well, if you ask me, It's all political. It's one side that I'll give them credit. They, I guess, were ahead of the pack and invested early in, let's say, social media companies. They invested early in this new technology. So if you ask me, we shouldn't be surprised that that side is censoring the other side, because the other side was late to the party. But I don't want to call it sides, because a lot of common sense people are being censored as well. So again, I don't know what kind of business direction Major League Baseball is taking. If you ask me, it's not going to work. If you want to attract minorities like myself, you invest by building in minority communities. As an example, New York City, freezing cold in the winter. Where are all the kids going to play? Wouldn't it be smart to invest money and build indoor baseball fields? Or does it cost too much money? Put your money where your mouth is, or shut the hell up. You want to attract people like me. If you build it, they will come. It's not about culture. It's not about who has the latest gear. It's about, oh, is your game fun? Am I going to have fun playing your game all year round? Or should I play Warzone on the computer? You see, Major League Baseball, now that I bring that up, Major League Baseball is playing with fire. Because you even have esports on the rise. In about 10 or 20 years, who knows if that's what everybody's going to be watching. And this is another discussion. Why do you think things are popular? Oh, because they suddenly become popular? No, because it's pushed. People with lots of money pay to make things popular. Let's give you an example. Thumb wrestling. If a multi-billionaire says, oh, I want to popularize thumb wrestling, he's going to pump in, or she's going to pump in billions, millions of dollars. And then bam, thumb wrestling is as bigger than the NFL. People think, oh, this thing is popular because people like it. No, it's popular because it was embedded in society. It was made popular. So, yes, Major League Baseball is playing with fire. Not only are they distancing their long-term fans, they're not looking into the future. By the way, shout out to Alex Rodriguez, who invested in esports a couple of years back. That guy's going to get a large return, because that's where youngsters are putting their attention. Nobody's reading books anymore. Nobody's reading articles. This is why we have to make YouTube videos. People's attention spans are dwindling. Or might I add, dopamine. They're getting their dopamine high from playing video games. How are you going to compete with that, Major League Baseball? Do you want to go down in flames? Because when we see a one-game suspension towards Josh Donaldson for trash-talking a player that's a trash talker as well, that's a troublemaker, a notorious troublemaker, you piss people off and they tune out. Imagine if Major League Baseball had the same kind of rules as hockey. Imagine a white player and a black player. I don't even want to use skin color, by the way. That's just disgusting to me. I see people as people. But imagine if a black player and a white player got in a fist fight and it was legal. Could you just imagine supposedly how racist that would look? When other people with common sense would say they're just two baseball players getting paid millions of dollars. But moving along, the Yankees continue their great season, 31-13. I kind of have a sour taste to my mouth because You know, we all trash talk that Donaldson trade, but we all had common sense where we all agree that if the Yankees traded for Donaldson, it's because he's a great clubhouse guy. But that sour taste is still in my mouth. Guys that are supposed to be the captain of the Yankees throw a guy like Josh Donaldson under the bus without having the facts or not stating the facts, because the guy himself stated his true intentions. So, if Judge continues to have this season, the MVP season, he's having a phenomenal season, by the way, the Yankees are not going to be able to afford him once he hits free agency. They can, but come on, let's be realistic. They're not going to pay up. So, let's cherish this season that we had with Aaron Judge, because that guy is about to get paid. And these West Coast teams are going to be all on him. It's just a fact. Let's not ignore the Yankees' track record when it comes to showing big bucks to these players. Before I leave, I mentioned this on my channel. The Yankees, if they're going to be ahead of the pack all season, they have to consistently win series. They kind of went off the rails. Tim Anderson came to New York City and played with these softies heads. They kind of went off the rails. But like I said, if they don't want the Tampa Bay Rays or a team like the Blue Jays to catch up on them, they need to continue to win series. So with that being said, NyynewsTV fans, this has been Felix from NyynewsPete.com. I will check you out for the latest episode of Hola, cómo, estás, exclusively on NyynewsTV. And before I go, prayers to all the victims in Texas.
Like a lion lost in the dark, my instincts so sharp.
Thank you for listening to NYY News Radio. Tune in again next time for the latest New York Yankees news and rumors.
Like an animal, I am the light in the jungle. I laid low for a little while. I was royalty in exile. I've got a heart like an animal. It beats fast and hard like an animal. I lie big like an animal. Like an animal. I tried to control this hunger, but I can't hold on for much longer. Intensity is growing stronger when I sense you getting closer. Like a lion lost in the dark, my instincts so sharp. There was a time I choked on my heart, and now I'm tearing yours apart.
Before it hits the